Order T67, your order's ready?
Sophia Farisi's family business must sell a lot of pies to make a profit.
The margarita, this one is also a top seller, but our best seller is just like a typical cheese slice. Thank you.
While her Atlanta pizzeria counts on repeat customers to stay open, Sophia recently visited a small Georgia town. She believes relies on too much dough from out-of-town drivers to exist.
He comes behind me and he starts, the sirens go off and whatever. So I pull over and I'm like, thinking the worst.
This past January, police ticketed Sophia for an expired tag while driving through the city of Dillard, about 2 hours north of Atlanta. This is the picture she took of her traffic stop. It cost her about $200. According to the Georgia Department of Community Affairs, Dillard collected $315,000 from fines and forfeitures in 2022. That's 44% of the entire city's budget for a town of about 300 people.
Numbers don't lie, so you see the percentages, and if the number is that high, it's definitely more about making money than keeping people safe.
While Dillard isn't the only city that banks on traffic citations for a big slice of its budget, an Atlanta News First investigation uncovered no other town in the state relies on the profit from its police force more than the city of Lenox, which covers less than 2 square miles in South Georgia. In 2022, it collected $1.3 million from citations. That's nearly 73% of the town's budget.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Atlanta News First Investigates spoke to a dozen drivers ticketed by Lenox police this year.
This is a scam.
All say the amount of citation revenue the city collects makes them question the police department's motives.
And I do think it creates somewhat of a distrust with your law enforcement.
And it makes you just question how valid a lot of these citations are.
Of the 361 citations police issued for the first 2 months of this year, records show just 5 were on Lenox streets. The remaining, Interstate 75, which runs straight through the city.
That sounds like the old TV show, The Dukes of Hazzard.
Come into my parlor, said the spider to the bee.
They've created a police force to be a revenue-generating operation in that town.
You city boys have no idea.
When the Lenox police chief and the mayor declined to be interviewed, we drove 3 hours south of Atlanta to attend its city council meeting.
With so much revenue coming from traffic citations, some question what's the real motive, safety or raising revenue? Do you understand that concern?
Stops no one unless they're doing over 90 miles an hour up there.
It's hard to hear, but that's Mayor Henry Baker explaining that his officers only ticket drivers who speed more than 90 miles per hour. But Atlanta News First uncovered the first 2 months of this year, 40% of his citations were for non-speeding offenses, like tinted windows and obscured license plates.
Could your city operate or even exist without all of this traffic citation revenue?
I have no comment on that.
Okay.
I have no comment, is how he responded. While the mayor declined to answer our question, here's what a member of the city's fire department told us.
If you took that revenue away from a town like this, the town would become a ghost town because people in this town cannot afford to have their property taxes raised.
Georgia law allows the Department of Public Safety to revoke speed detection device permits from cities when ticket revenue exceeds 35% of police departments' budgets. But that cap only involves tickets for speeding, a loophole that allows cities to collect as much revenue as they want from other traffic offenses.
So that's usually why people call it taxation by citation, is it's a politically attractive alternative.
Victorio Nastasi is the director of criminal justice for the Reason Foundation. In a report released earlier this year, the libertarian think tank called on Georgia to cap ticket revenue to 10%. Money collected above that threshold would be sent to a state-run crime victims compensation fund. That cap doesn't prevent municipal law enforcement from writing tickets, but creates less financial incentives for issuing tickets.
So I think that kind of solution is more directly addressing the problem and doesn't have the same issues of tying law enforcement's hands as the current law has.
That requires lawmakers to take action. And lucky for us, one of the most prominent in the Georgia legislature attended the same Lenox City Council meeting. State Representative Penny Houston, chair of the House Appropriations Committee.
And I just want to come here today and say thank y'all for the 26 years of support y'all have given me.
She found nothing wrong with the city's traffic citation revenue.
If they're going 90 miles an hour, they ought to be a damn expense.
If there's such a big public safety concern with people speeding on 75 through these small towns, why not fund more positions in highway patrol instead of these small towns doing it?
Well, maybe the small towns can do it cheaper.
We have to make dough every day, every single day.
Georgia cities accused of subsidizing budgets with citations instead of taxation, a practice some believe is a recipe for disaster with trust in law enforcement.
It's just really unfair and ridiculous.